I am Curran Bhatia. I am chatting with Charles Conwell. He's 22 years old, 12-0, 9 knockouts from Cleveland. So, Charles, obviously, we know what's going on in the world in terms of the global pandemic. Where are you right now, and are you safe? Is everything good?
Yeah, I'm actually in Toledo right now training, just staying in shape, getting ready. So whenever they call me, we're not letting too many people inside the gym. So we staying safe as we can be in, but still trying to, put the work in.
And I know, obviously, you were preparing for your next fight. You fought in February. You were preparing for a fight. I believe it was supposed to be in April against Ashkayev. That obviously was pushed back because of the pandemic. So, has that fight been rescheduled? When are we going to see you back in the ring?
To be honest, they just telling me to stay ready. You never know with these networks. They're trying to get things together, but like you said, the global pandemic and stuff, is coming back and the numbers going higher. It's like a new thing every other month or every month. So you never know. I'm just staying ready. So whenever they call, I'll be ready.
And I know that you have been staying ready. You fought in February, like we said, you're undefeated. So, has that been, I mean, obviously the pandemic has been tough for everyone. It's caused disruptions in everyone's life, but in terms of your momentum as a professional boxer, I mean, that must have been very tough for you to feel like you're rolling and then obviously everything halted.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You like you said, you got the momentum. You doing good. You winning. You won. I won. Fights back to back. I've been doing my thing, and then I wanted so much this year too. I wanted to build my momentum, get good wins under my belt, and a lot of stuff like that. So I had so much stuff planned for me for this year, and then for it to all be stopped. It's crazy. You can't get mad because, like you said, it's a global pandemic. It's not just something that's happening to me, but it's still hard to not get frustrated when you wanted so much for yourself this year.
And how have you been spending this time in quarantine? I know that you've been training or fighting since you were 11 years old. You're 22 now. So have you kept up with training? Has it been the same? What's it been like?
I'll come train. I go home, spend time with my family. So I was just doing both, spending time with my family. Then I go back to training, and come back and spend time with my family. I just been going back and forth. Just trying to stay in shape, and just spend time with my family. Like I said, 'cause, I actually just had a daughter too. So I've been trying to spend time with my family a lot with my daughter, and just being there for my girlfriend and whatnot, and then come back, but not trying to get out of shape at the same time. So I've been trying to go back and forth.
And in terms of your community and where you're from, I mean, I know a lot has been made about Soul City Boxing Club. We know Otha Jones, the third, trains out of there. What is that community and that environment like for you?
It's fun and it's competitive. You got a lot of top athletes there doing their thing, winning. So everybody want to be the best. So it's always like us just pushing each other to get better and just work out hard and just keep doing good and growing and just learning from each other.
And we talked about your momentum this year and what happened. Now we know what happened at the end of last year, and I don't want to ask you too much about it because I know you've spoken a lot about it. I actually did a full show on fighter safety, and we want to avoid these tragedies in this sport, as you know. So the only question I'll ask you is, how do you think that we can make boxing safer so that we don't have tragedies like we had with Patrick Day?
To be honest, it's kind of hard. Every fighter is going to say they're okay, even if they're not okay. It's just the fighter in it. It's just in it. So it's really like it's up to like the boxing commissioners to make people go through extensive tests and just make sure people are okay before they fight. Not just listen to what they say. You got to just watch out for their body language, and just see how they're doing mentally. And just usually you got to check in on the fighter. You just got to know a person. You could maybe talk to their family, their coach, and stuff like that. You just got to really just make sure they're okay. That's the only thing I can really say because it's not really too much you can really do to like really stop stuff like that from happening. But to prevent it, I think you can just like check in on the fighter and maybe do some more extensive testing. I don't really know.
Yeah, we need to change, get more research, get more education, and
Mhm.
lose the machismo of the fight, lose the going out in your shield type of mindset. That definitely needs to change, and that starts with trainers, that starts with fighters, and everything like that. So, I know that on your Instagram bio it says you are boxing's best kept secret. So, why do you feel like you're boxing's best kept secret?
I just fight that because I've done a lot in the boxing community. I've done a lot in the amateurs. Now I'm coming into the pros. I'm doing pretty good. So I just feel like for all the things I accomplished and throughout my career, I just feel like I'm not getting the recognition and the respect I deserve in the sport. So I just think I'm not. I just feel like I'm boxing best because kept secret because I'm not getting that recognition. A lot of people don't know me, so I just feel like that's the reason behind that.
And in terms of people getting to know you, I mean, they're starting to get to know you as you continue. You're undefeated, you're knocking people out. You're still very young, 22 years old, and as you get on these bigger and bigger platforms, on these bigger cards, people are going to start to learn more about you. What do you want to be known for as a fighter, as a person? What do you want people to know about you?
That I'm like you said, I want to be known for my fighting skills, my just me being a good person and being a hard worker and me just winning titles and looking good, doing it, dominating the sport, and just just doing my thing and being true to myself and just being myself.
And we talked about the tragedy in the sport and safety. Obviously, that was a tough thing for you in your career. Do you feel like you've been able to now move on from that in terms of mentally and being able to move forward in your career?
Yeah, for sure. Every day that I'm working out, every fight that I'm that I'm doing is one like it's pushing me further and further away from that situation. Like it's making me, get past the situation every day. So the longer I'm doing my thing and just training and working hard and fighting and things like that, it's pushing me away from it. But like I said, when it first happened, you said it was a tragedy. They said I was kind of holding back when I first got back, but as time went on, like I said, I got back more and more to myself. So I just think the more time that goes past, the more I can get past it. Like they say, time heals all wounds.
And I know that you have reached out to Patrick Day's family. You fought in his honor, and so you're doing what you can to move on from that situation. And
Mhm.
so, obviously, this halt in terms of the pandemic was probably especially tough for you because you probably wanted to keep the momentum rolling. You've said before that your dream is to be the best boxer in the world. So is that your motivation? Certain fighters may say, "Oh, I want to fight for money. I want to fight for specific goals or legacy." What is your motivation in this sport?
Like you said, just to be the best in every division I'm fighting in, to be the best, to win all the belts. Like you said, like people say, family, friends. I got a daughter, so that's a new motivation for me. Just a lot of different stuff, but for the sport, the legacy, just for the sport, just to be the best in my weight class and just dominate the sport, just be one, just want to go be known as one of the legends of the sport. So that's what I fight for.
And in terms of the weight class that you're in, we've seen you fight at 154. I believe you've fought a little higher than 154 as well. What is the most comfortable weight for you? Where do you want to ideally campaign at?
154. The times I came in over 154 was because of the opponents. They might have been like last minute opponents and stuff like that. So those are the only reasons I ever came in really overweight.
And in terms of that weight class, I mean, we have champions Rosario, Charlo, of course, Patrick Teixeira. So it's obviously a deep weight class. What do you make of the landscape at 154, and what do you think of the top fighters in that weight class?
It's a lot of good guys. It's even good guys that's not even champions. So it's a lot of good talent there. But I feel like the 154 division is one of the toughest divisions. You see a lot of people not really they get the belt, but they don't really get to hold it for that long. So it's a lot of good athletes in that division. So I just think that once I'm there and I win my title, I'll be able to hold it for the longest.
And in terms of, those champions or other fighters, I mean, who do you think is at the top of the division right now?
I'll say Charlo. I think he got the most experience at that weight class. That's a champion right now. I think he's the top dog at the 154 division. Even though Rosario has two belts, they're fresh belts, and he won them in one fight. So, like I said, just I think Charlo got the most edge over everybody else.
And in terms of those players, the people that we talked about, title holders and others, who do you think you would match up best against?
I say Teixeira and Rosario. I think I can really do my thing. I know for a fact I can do my thing and win those titles from those guys.
And if you were to get the opportunity versus Charlo, how do you feel like that fight would play out?
I feel like that fight would be a great fight. We're both two athletic guys, good punchers. So I know that fight would be a real good fight, and I can just see it going the distance.
And we know that you want to get back in there, you want to get these opportunities. In terms of a title shot, when do you think you'll be ready for that type of opportunity?
Uh, Depending with the pandemic over, I would love to get. I would love to get a title shot next year, sometime next year, like the end of next year. Get some more good wins under my belt. Fight some former world champions, or some world title challengers, stuff like that. Get some good wins, and then I'll be ready to hop in there.
And have you looked up in terms of, middleweight is obviously also stacked, people like Canelo, Triple G, Andrade, the Charlo, there's so many people there too. Is that something you're eyeing at all, or do you think that you're going to be at 154 for a while?
I think I'm campaigning at 154 for a while. Once I win those titles at 154, then eventually, of course, I'll move up. Hopefully, one day I might even move down. You never know, man. Depends on how my body is. It all depends on the body.
And I wanted to ask you, but before I let you go, I've been following your social media feeds. Someone I interviewed once was Eric Kelly. What's the back and forth with you and Eric Kelly? Can you fill me in on that?
Eric Kelly's my boy, man. I met him down there in New York one time when I was doing the Olympic thing. He was out in New York, and he's just a crazy dude, man. He's mad nice though. I really respect Eric Kelly. He was supposed to go to the Olympics. We fought the same weight class when he was an amateur, so it's just friendly fan stuff.
And for those who don't know Eric Kelly, Southbox Gym, you can check out, I think, some viral videos of his that took off a few years ago. So, just to close it out, we talked about your goals in the sport. I mean, ideally, do you hope to be a multi-division champion? Do you want to be on the top of the pound for pound rankings? I mean, what defines success for you before your career is over?
Uh, winning titles. It doesn't matter if it's all in one weight class or if I ever go up and win in that weight class. So I just want to win the most world titles I can and just become a legend. Like I said, just be inspiration for other people, other boxers coming up, and just stuff like that. Just be inspiration.
And in terms of those goals, is there a fighter that you look at, maybe in previous eras and you say, wow, I really like the way this guy conducted his career. That's someone I want to emulate a little bit.
Yeah, mindset wise, I like Andre Ward's mindset a lot. He definitely done a lot in the career. He's a multi-weight world champion. I like his mindset a lot, and I like Canelo. He's a real class fighter, I think. So probably Andre Ward and Canelo are my two top on class and just like how they handle their career.
And in terms of you mentioned Andre Ward, we know the success he had in the ring. He stepped away from the game a little early when he's felt like he had achieved everything he wanted to achieve, and the same drive wasn't there. Is that something that you would consider as well? Stepping away at a certain point when the hunger isn't there in the same way.
Yeah, for sure. Once you know when you're done. I'll still work out. I may even do a couple exhibition matches like some Floyd Mayweather type junk. But when I know I'm done with the sport, I'll be done with it for sure.
And so, just to close it out, what would be your final message to your fans, to your supporters, people who have followed you up to this point in your career and hopefully are looking to see you back in there?
Just man, keep supporting me. Hopefully I'll have some news for you guys soon. Just stay supporting. I'm really working hard, and I want to be the best. And I know with the fans and the family behind me, I can do whatever I want to be and be where I want to be in life.
Charles Conwell, I want to thank you so much for the time. Best of luck in your next fight, whenever that may be. And I hope that we can keep the dialogue going, keep the conversation going as you work your way through your career here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you.